Most business communication goes in one direction, from the company to the client, but occasionally you need to give people a way to communicate back to you. This is a perfect job for a form. With InDesign, you can create any page layout you want and then add the form fields on the top of that. Using the Buttons and Forms panel, you can add text fields, listing combo boxes, checkboxes, and radio buttons, and even digital signature fields. And you can set the properties on form fields to control the size of the text, to make them required for submission, and to make them printable or not. So here is the form I put together in the end of the coffee book. Let's open PDF and take a look at the final output. I have some radio buttons where a client can make their choices, and there are some text fields when you can enter the quantity of the purchase. Also, there are more text fields when people can submit the information, the name of the company, address, and etc. Also, there are some information for the credit card submission. Also, there is option for digital signature, and finally, option for print and submission of the form. Now, let's return to InDesign and take a closer look on process of designing a form. And we will start with overview of radio buttons. As you can see, I created a list of choices and I created 4 circular elements. To activate Forms panel, you go to Window, Interactive, Buttons and Forms. I will select the first circular object, and in Buttons and Forms window, under Type, I will choose option Radio button. You can see under Appearance option, we have 2 different states. Active state will have a black circle inside of the button. So I'm going to select Next item and assign the same action. Radio button. Please notice, under PDF options, we have several fields available for us. We can make this button printable or not, we can make it required or not, we can assign option read only and select it by default. Also, you can give a description to this option in the description field. And I will repeat the same steps, assigning radio buttons to all the options for preference and regions. For quantity, I created a rectangular object and I will assign different type. Under Buttons and Forms, for type, I will choose option Text field. We can make it printable, required, we even can assign a password, and we can make it read only or multi-line. In this situation, because people only going to enter the number value, are going to check on scrollable and printable. Also, as you can see, we can assign different size of a font. I'm going to keep my font size at 12 points. For the information part, I'm going to add text fields. At first, I simply listed the information people need to fill. Then I'm going to create a rectangular object with no stroke and no color. So basically it's an invisible object. And in Buttons and Forms panel, under Type, I will choose option Text field. And again, I'm going to check 2 options, printable and scrollable, and I will keep font size at 12 points. Now I simply can duplicate this object and place it in every line of the text. For the payment information, I'm going to use radio buttons as well, simply creating circular objects and assigning option of the radio button. For the next few lines, I'm going to use text field as well, and I can duplicate already text field button I created, or I can create new one. Again, I'm going to apply no stroke and no color, and then assign text field option. And I will duplicate the button I just created. For the signature, I will assign different option. And again, I will start by creating a new rectangular object, and under type I will choose option signature field. Now let's take a look at other options in the buttons and forms window. And I'm going to select one of the radio buttons I created, and instead of radio button I will choose option checkbox. And you can see the difference is that instead of black circular element inside of it, you will have a check option. To illustrate you the list box option, I'm going to slightly change the formula. And I'm going to create a rectangular object with white fill, and I'm going to delete the radio buttons I created. I'm going to select the rectangle I created, and under type choose option list box. And I will keep printable checked. Also you can see you can click on option required, and you have option to apply multiple selection or not. I will keep singular choice, and also there are two options, read only and sort items. To add items to your list, you click inside of list item box, and I'm going to type Costa Rica, then click on plus and type next item Colombia, and again click on plus and add Peru, and click on plus one more time. I will keep font size at 12 points. Now I can remove the items because I just place them inside of my checklist, and I will move my box and place it under the regions. I created two more buttons for print and submission. I'm going to select first print button, which is rectangle with text inside. And as you can see, I have 3 different states applied to this button to make it more interactive. I'm going to remove these options and show you how to create different states for button from beginning. After you design a button, in order to convert any object in button, you will click on option Convert to button, which is located on the bottom of Buttons and Forms window. Then I will click on Rollover State, and I will change color on different shade of brown. If I want to apply click state, I will click on click state, and I can apply different color. In this situation, I want to keep the same color as at normal state. So here I have 3 different states, which make button very interactive. Finally, I'm going to assign an action. Under action options, I will choose option print form. And I'm going to assign an action for submit button as well. I will select it, and as you can see, I already created 3 different states. And under action, I will choose option submit form. In order to submit form, you need to add your email address. So form will be mailed to you. To do this, under URL, you will type mail to in one word, columns, and then you will add your email address. Now let's export this form to PDF format and check on it. And again, I will go to File, Export, and I will overwrite existing file. InDesign should remember my last settings. I'm going to check, make sure that I have all pages, and I have feed page under view, high quality JPEG, and resolution at 144 ppi. And I'm going to scroll to the end of my book, where I have my form created, and I have radio buttons, and I have check buttons. Also, I have list box with different items to choose from, and I have a quantity box where I can enter different number, and I have my text fields where I can enter any information I want. I have print button, sending my document to the printer of my choice, and I have an active submit button. You can see InDesign is a great choice for creating digital form. I don't want to make it sound like InDesign is a fully featured form solution. It's not. Many times, in order to finish the form, you are going to have to take the PDF, you export it from InDesign, and make some fixes and adjustments in Acrobat. But having the forms tools in InDesign sure beats the alternative of having to do all the work as a post-InDesign process.